the fake whistleblower, did he blow the whistle because the whistle was about to be blown on him? Look, squirrel, shiny red object. Big, fat, juicy hat tip to Laura Ingraham of the Fox News Channel and her team for a damning expose the last few nights. If you're missing her show the last few nights, you're making a mistake. She has been on it like white on rice. Her team has uncovered a series of emails. Remember what the lead is the whistleblower really hiding his and other people's involvement in the real Ukrainian scandal with the Bidens by claiming Trump's involved with Ukraine? It's all bad, all bad.
Right.
Here's clip one, Laura Ingraham's team. They uncovered some emails about a January of 2016 meeting at the White House. Who was the president at the time? Obviously still Barack Obama. Now, remember, we've been told about Hunter Biden's, Joe Biden's son, of course, his lucrative job in Ukraine with this natural gas company, while Joe Biden's appointment in Ukraine. We've been told, Joe, nobody in the administration knew about this stuff. It was no big deal. Joe Biden's like, no one told me about this. I don't know. My son got this sweet gig. No experience in natural gas or Ukraine, but that don't matter. He's the perfect guy for Ukrainian natural gas company.
Yeah, it's all cool.
Nobody knew anything, Joe. Really? Because Ingram's uncovered this series of emails and her team about, shockingly, Joe, a meeting at the White House in January of 2016 where it appears they're there to talk exactly about, hey, we got a problem with Joe Biden's kid working for this company in Ukraine that's being investigated for corruption. That can't be, Joe. How could they uncover these emails? Joe, nobody knew. Nobody knew.
He was lying? Come on.
Don't you dare. Joe Biden never lies. Impugn the man's. What's wrong with you, Armacost? He always tells the truth. So does Obama. Joe, come on, stop that. That was rude. They never lie. Ever. They're always telling the truth, except the fact that they're not, because Ingraham has these emails. Let's go to one. Here's Laura Ingraham with a really great expose. Check this out.
Fast forward to May of 2019. Vogel sends an email to State Department official Kate Schilling about a story he was working on regarding an Obama-era meeting with Ukrainian prosecutors. In his request, Vogel mentions a name who some have reported is the whistleblower. Now, we have not yet confirmed this name, so we're just blacking it out for here. Now, Vogel's email reads as follows. We're going to report that State Department official Elizabeth Zentos attended a meeting at the White House on January 19, 2016, with Ukrainian prosecutors and embassy officials. The subjects discussed included efforts within the United States government to support prosecutions in Ukraine and the United Kingdom of Burisma Holdings and concerns that Hunter Biden's position with the company could complicate such efforts.
Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so.
I have to apologize to Armacost. I got on him for claiming Biden and Obama may lie about stuff. I was so offended. They don't lie ever. Joe was clearly right. I was wrong. By the way, I have some corrections later in the show, too. Don't mind that. But I'm clearly, obviously, I'm joking. Joe and I play off each other, and we love to do this. Of course, they're liars. Of course. Dan, you get too excited sometimes. Yes, I do. So, I've got another clip from Ingraham, but before I get to that, let's just set up where we are. So the Ingraham team, in doing actual reporting, unlike 99.9% of journalists who've given up on that whole journalism thing, they found these emails about a January 16 meeting at the White House, apparently to discuss with Ukrainian officials the trouble they're going to have with Joe Biden's kid getting this really sweet gig over in Ukraine with a natural gas company, which, as Joe adequately stated before, could cause a problem because that would mean they were lying. Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and all these other ones. You know, Joe Biden, like, I didn't know anything about it. The Obama administration, it was no big deal. We weren't concerned. Really? You got a White House meeting? Now, listen, one of the things, I don't like to talk too much about prior experience because whatever, but just to establish clear bona fides. I worked in the White House for a few years. I get the deal, right? It's pretty hard to get a White House meeting, folks. It's really, really hard. Not that hard to get a Treasury meeting, not that hard to get a DHS meeting sometimes. You have a legitimate gripe. To get a White House meeting, it's pretty tough. So a couple of Ukrainians got a White House meeting in January 2016, right in the middle of a presidential election when Barack Obama's clearly busy trying to get the Democrat candidate for president elected, doing their thing, and they got to walk into the White House and talk about Burisma. I thought nobody cared. Well, you may say, Dan, you led this segment talking about how this is all related to the fake whistleblower. It's all related. They all know each other, folks. Remember what I told you last week during our series of exposés on Spygate, Muellergate, Ukrainegate? It's the same scandal. They all know each other. In other words, the people trying to take down Trump. And they all have something to lose by Trump exposing them. It's no more complicated than that. What does this meeting at the White House have to do with the fake whistleblower? Because clearly they're colluding with foreign officials to impact the election. It's January of 2016 when this meeting happens. Let's make that stuff go away. Well, let's go to segment number 2, where, by the way, for the purposes of YouTube, because the whistleblower's name is banned by YouTube, and I have to get this information out there, the YouTube overlords, this will definitely be demonetized today. We will not be using the whistleblower's name because he's banned by YouTube. Other whistleblowers you can expose anywhere on YouTube as long as it helps the Democrats. But if it, God forbid, it exposes a scandal that may harm the Democrats, you definitely can't say that on YouTube. So we will be banned by YouTube today, I'm sure that. But we will black it out because we want to make sure we get this information out. Let's play cut number 2 from Ingram, where Joe, I want you to pay close attention because this is going to really, you want to talk about baking your bagels, cooking your muffins right here, pal. You're never going to believe who checks these Ukrainians into the White House. You're never going to believe who checks them in for this meeting with Obama. That shouldn't have ever happened because nobody knew about Burisma and nobody thought it was a big deal. Yeah. Play cut 2.
We at the Ingram Angle were, however, able to corroborate details of the January 2016 meeting. However, we did this, of course, using archived Obama White House visitor logs. They're not going to tell us. We have to go to the logs. You can see them on the screen now. They show that the person who many believe to be the whistleblower checked in numerous Ukrainian officials into the White House. On January 19, 2016, the day Vogel claims there was a meeting on Burisma and Biden. Also at the meeting were Ukraine's lead anti-corruption prosecutor and the head of the country's anti-corruption bureau, both of whom were there to discuss the complications of Hunter Biden's sweetheart gig.
Ooh. So let me get this straight. The fake whistleblower checks them in. How is that? That's crazy. And because the segment that goes on for, I have to, in the interest of time, I want to get you the nuggets. Joe likes to say everything you need to know in an hour. One of the people, if you notice, if you rewind that clip, you'll see is on the list of people checked in by the fake whistleblower. The fake whistleblower checks these people in. One of the people on that list, Teleshenko, is one of the guys implicated in the election 2016 scandal where Alexandra Chalupa, follow me, former DNC, Democrat operative, leaves the DNC to go and attack the Trump campaign full time. One of the people from Ukraine she's working with to collude to get information about the Trump campaign is alleged to be Teleshenko, who gets checked into the White House by the whistleblower. Verdict is in. There's nothing to see here. Forget everything I just told you. It's all a big coinky-dinker. No, forget it. Ignore your eyes are lying to you.
You just heard the Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud and follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.